Hello everyone, welcome to a new series on the channel. I thought I'd go back in time. If I could work out how to do it in Vegas Pro, there would be a wibbly wobbly wavy thing, but I've never managed to, so we're probably not going to do that. We're going back to an earlier time when I had a much shorter handle. The internet was new. I had just finished building my first PC from bits I'd bought on probably either eBay or some early auction site. And I had a 56k modem and time to spare. And I signed up for a beta test of a Microsoft-funded game by a Boston company called Turbine. And that game was Asheron's Call. It was one of the earlier of the, what became known as MMORPGs, or massively multiplayer online role-playing games. It came out at the same time as EverQuest, which rather overshadowed it, even though I think this was actually the better of the two, for various reasons. I spent a good 1 or 2 years playing it eventually before leaving out. Now, it's no longer available, but there is an emulator you can play it on, and if you can get the client stuff down and the right bits installed, you too can play it. I'll probably link to some stuff in the description below about how to do it. But here we are starting in the character creation. Now, a lot of this stuff was added after I left, so basically when I started playing, there were only these first three heritage groups: the Alluvian, the Garundim, and the Show. All of these are added on later. I believe some of these were backported sort of from the sequel they made eventually, the Empyrean, the Tumarok, and the Lugian, though both the Tumarok and the Lugian are in this game as enemies anyway. Because one of the fun things about Asheron's Call, or AC as we called it, was that it had monthly events, and there were often unique prizes on offer for people who completed all the best things. And one of the first ones I remember is when these towers were introduced to the world in an update. It couldn't do dynamic updates, but there was a patch, and you got a new patched version of the world file, which was a seamlessly loaded world that you could run through completely from end to end without any loading screens or anything. They would patch that whole file down. It often took a little while over the old modem, but once it was done, people could have fun, and admins could log on as powerful characters, and people could get to fight them. It was all great fun. So we're just going to go through quickly the character creation. And originally when I started playing, these three had these racial skills, bonus racial skills, which apparently, from my reading up afterwards, they kind of reduced the effect of, because it was a bit silly to limit people. And it meant that everybody who wanted to be a mage ended up as a Garundim, and that was a bit funny. So we'll just go with Alluvian for the moment and move on to professions. AC was actually a classless game, so these are pretty much just starting positions. So you see the Wayfarer, you get high coordination quickness. If you went with a war mage, you got high focus and self. If you went as a bow hunter, which is what I generally ended up as, you started with high coordination and quickness. Ultimately, one of the interesting things about this, though, was that because of the way the physical melee and bow sword skills were set up, compared to how the spells and magic were set up, meant that magic was very, very powerful in this game. And since you could sort of multi-class, one of the best things you could do was really sort of start every character with the maximum in focus and self, and reduce the other ones down, and then just boost them up as much as you wanted. And you could do that indeed with any, as I've seen here, chosen bow hunter, and then change those. But for the moment, I'm just going to go with bow hunter, and we'll not worry about it. So again, here you can mess with the skills. You can bump your arcane lore up, which was used to be able to use magic stuff, finesse weapons. Melee defense was a sort of one that you needed quite high. And because I've chosen the bow hunter, these are already set in a certain way, so we'll just skip on to appearance. These didn't really matter. You could be male, emo, female, if I got that there, and a balding man if I want to choose that. Colour from the hair was possible. Eyes and stuff, they didn't really, it's just usual stuff. So we'll just let's find a There, that's a nice hairstyle. Let's move on now. Now, town was where you started. Holtberg, Sanama, I think that was one I did after I started playing. The 3 you could start with were Iraq, Holtberg and Sushi, which were the sort of racial start towns. This was the Alluvian start town, this was the Garundim, and this was the show. But we'll go with Holtberg. And then, of course, you have to give yourself a name. And, obviously, there we go. I think I've just done. So now we've got our new character, we can enter the world. Now, where we start here, in this case with us, let me just see if I can change the window orientation. Oh, it's got a bit funny with the colour there, never mind. We'll live with that. Yeah, this is the training hall. This was added towards the end of my time in game, I think, or maybe after I left. Because originally you just dumped directly into the world and you had to find your way along. This gives you a few levels and pointers how things work. Like, you can just move backwards and forwards. You can also use first-person view. But the problem is that the up and down on the mouse is far too sensitive compared to the left and right. So I tend to stick in sort of over the shoulder stuff. And then you just click on people around the world and they talk to you down here in the text. Yeah, there you go. That tells you what's going on. Hail and welcome to Dureth. Dureth is the world we're in. No time to chat. Time to get on with your training. Click on the backpack in the lower right corner of your screen to open inventory. Click on the blue calling stone and drag it to me. So there we go. Blue calling stone. No, that's Blackamoor's favour. There we go. And that's how you give things to NPCs. Why don't you talk to the agent in the... So, you have to turn, double click on the doors to use them. And through we go. And you get signs and stuff. So, yeah. I can do that here. But also, you don't move in the direction that your mouse is going. So, you usually have to recenter your view. So let's talk with this chap. Now, he will give us a quest to get some armour. Which are pretty easy to find up. Though there's also a letter here you can pick up if you're feeling a bit sneaky. As you can see, it's popped in behind me because this was actually a shared space, so other people starting the game would come through here as well. So that's the first piece of clothing which we can wear. We're already wearing some. Oh, there's leather. Well, that was the other thing about this. You could have leather over the top of your clothing. We've also got a hat here. We can put that on, and then the other piece is over here, and that is a nice pair of gloves. Yeah, now we can move on. I can also talk to this person because you can actually skip the trading if you want, but we're not going to because you can't leave here, and it does show you a few things that are useful, like fighting. It was a little bit of a complicated system, I remember. So what you basically have to do is... no, that's magic side. We'll not do that at the moment. We'll do the other one. Yeah, so click the black button to open your inventory. Drag the weapon, if you had one, into your weapon slot. And then... right, so we would do like this. And arrows, which are actually 250 arrows. And then we would turn into fighting mode. Click on what we want to fire at. And then choose the high, medium or low to plunk it. And it fights back. But we beat it. Then we go out of fighting mode, loot it, and then we can give this to him to move on to the next. Yeah, that's the level up effect. It's very, very nice. We can mess with our stats at this point. So I could say if I boost my endurance, I get more hit points. I think I've got 15. So go 16. Yeah. I also get more stamina, but I couldn't do much. And you can directly influence the health as well, like that. We'll move on to, I believe, Central courtyard. There's various just quick ways of just learning other bits and pieces about what we're doing here, so we need to fight them. So here's how keys worked in this world. You did double-clicked on the key and unlocked the door, and then you could go through. Now we have more to do. This is the shopping interface, so we buy that. Double-click the oil and then on your weapon. I think you only do this with my knife. I did try it with the bow. It doesn't work. Perhaps the bow has to be out, I can't remember. Oh no, it does. Yeah, it has to be out. Okay, so that's now a better bow. Should help a bit. Now the final section of this was up here. Oh, nearly. That's... Oh yeah, these are the criers. They passed out news. This guy, forget what he does. Oh, it tells you how to do chatting, and then we have to go talk to this guy. Right, the Auzathoth were kind of the boss mobs at the start of the game, and later became a race you could kind of play if you wanted to do a PvP without PvPing and without any leveling or anything like that. They're an insect race ruled by a queen, so we've got the hive and stuff. And to introduce you to them... Oops, I need to click on the door rather than the portal through the door. To introduce you to the Auzathoth, you have to do a little quest to go and kill some of them. And I think we can get some... This... No, maybe it's downstairs. So let's talk with this chap. Hive of Auzathoth, yeah, at all, yeah, la 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 la, go. Okay. It's down here. Now, yeah, this is the chest with the stuff in. I can get some stuff. Now also at this point I should adjust things so that I've got the knife and the sword on the 1 and 2 so I can swap between them if need be. Like 1 for the knife, 2 for the... not the sword, that's a bow, what am I talking about? Now this I believe is the way out. Yeah, exit to Haltberg. So this down here... that's a dead Auzathoth, and then we can go down here and read the sign. This is a life stone. Yeah, this is how you resurrected and chose where to resurrect. And then we will come back here once we're through in this rather quickly organised den. It's got these Auzathoth in now. If we, yeah, there we go. Make sure we've got the bow on, go into firing mode. It's close. They are quite dangerous. you can see they're hitting me for a lot more than the other stuff did, but I generally can beat them. And I've got an extra potion. And a wool beret for some reason. I do not know why that would be. Now we should probably heal before the next one. There we go. There we go, we died. For dying you lose 5% of your vitae or life force, so that reduces the stuff you have. But because this is training, we don't actually lose our equipment. I think. It may happen in real life, outside. But anyway, let's continue fighting this guy. Oops. What did I do? I need to do that again. Actually try a knife here. That was rather more effective. Perhaps bows aren't so good against these guys. We do have that. Now I think the actual thing I need to do is get all the way to the back of the hive rather than just fight these guys. So, but we can sort of ignore them and they won't attack. And then it's down here. Ah, this might be the one I need to kill. Yeah, there we go. He's got these orbs we need. So I'll pop it in my backpack, along with a free extra bottle of health draft. And let's get out of here. Okay, so we hand the orb over. We should get some more experience. 5,000. Removed our penalty from dying so many times. And now we can take the portal out to the world of AC proper. Well, this isn't Holtberg.